Hey guys, time for another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. Let's start off with the 55 Deluxe, this beauty. So the owner actually came and picked up this bus this morning, and it was raining at the time. We got his windshield wipers working. They basically just needed to be adjusted. He took off from here, made it, I don't know, probably 3-4 miles, and the bus just completely died. Like no power, no idiot lights on, wouldn't start, etc. So he managed to get it into gas station parking lot, and I called and had a tow truck sent and had it brought in, and it blew a fuse on the fuse box up front. And so looked at it, and it was the fuse that supplies the windshield wipers and the dome lights. It's also hooked up to I think the starter and so on. Anyway, so it blew that fuse, not related to us replacing the generator and regulator, not really connected in any way. I think it's just a coincidence. Probably a couple things. One is that he hadn't really used the windshield wipers before, so I'm suspicious of them as far as the reason that it blew a fuse. The other, I don't know that he's driven the bus in the rain before, so it's possible that something got wet up in there. Anyway, we will take a look at it and get to the bottom of it. Fuses, of course, don't just randomly blow. There's always a reason. So we're going to take a look at it real thoroughly and see if we can find anything that looks suspicious, or like it, could have been shorting out and so on. And yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it. Again, we didn't build this bus. We didn't wire it, so we're not sure, of some of the work, but that's why we're going to dig into it and see, so that the owner can have confidence when they drive it that it's not going to leave them stranded like it did today, sadly, when it left our shop. Again, not related to the repairs that we did, but we'll get to the bottom of whatever it was. So beyond that, worked a bit on a few other different things here and there, one of which was for the 36 horsepower for the Prairie Beige over there. So the distributor for that was really nice, except at some point somebody had basically either sandblasted or wire brushed the badge for it. The badges are kind of a big deal on these because they look cool, and ideally they have this black background with the aluminum color letters on them. Well, the whole thing was just basically silver. And so kind of played around with it, and I came up with a method where it's not 100% perfect, but compared to a essentially sandblasted badge, I'm pretty happy with how it looks. I'm going to post up a video on how I did that. And so beyond that, then I just painted the rest of the body. We use basically like a satin black, so it looks pretty nice. Hopefully the parts to rebuild this thing on the inside will be here tomorrow, and we'll get it back together, and then I can go on the motor. Likewise, I'm waiting on some tiny cotter pins for the carburetor to finish it. And I think those are the last two pieces, major pieces for the 36 horsepower for that motor. Other than that, onto the 23 window. I'll come to this one in a minute. Onto the 23 window. So I got the speedometer all cleaned up on the inside, put it back together. Looks really nice now. Yeah, I don't think we're going to do a full restoration on this. It's actually really nice. The kind of yellowed speedometer needle actually looks kind of cool. I think it's actually kind of a nice touch because it's so clean otherwise that, it's okay to have some patina on these cars. They are very old cars, and so you kind of expect things here and there to have a little discoloration. So sometimes it's actually kind of cool to leave stuff like that, because the speedometer is super nice otherwise. So we decided to just kind of clean it up and roll with it. So now that we got the switches and so on for this the other day, still need a fuse box, but got the ignition switch, which he says he has the key for, the headlight switch, the wiper switch, and the dome light switch. So I went ahead and installed all those, and then started hooking them up to their respective wiring harnesses. So not really much to see other than a couple switches kind of sticking out of the dash. Lots of wiring underneath the dash that I hooked up. Once I get the fuse box here, then the wiring is really going to start coming together on this bus. We did get the headlights the other day. They're in those original boxes, which is kind of cool. So yeah, we're actually starting to get a pretty decent amount of the wiring components for this bus, and what he doesn't have, most of it's available as really nice reproduction. So it should go together pretty fast as far as the wiring once we get these last few components. So this is one that just came in today. This is owned by a guy that's had the shop do a lot of work in the past. So he brought it in really just for like a kind of a laundry list of things that he wants done. The convertible windows don't really line up that well with each other. You can't really tell here, but if you were to wind up the door window here, it wouldn't be lined up very well at all with this one. So what happens is, you know, instead of kind of laying in here nicely, they end up kind of sticking out this way. I'm exaggerating, of course, but unlike a sedan where the windows ride in you know, a defined groove here by the top of the door, these are just kind of like out here in space. And so there's a bunch of adjustments inside here that kind of determine where that window goes exactly, and they're really pretty tricky to adjust. So he brought it in for us to get those kind of dialed in, and some other things here and there. But really cool looking car. I'll do a walk around video of it, probably not today, but maybe tomorrow. So keep your eyes out for that. But he's got really nice brakes on it. I think it's actually the same brake set that we put on the 69 EV with the big Willwood brakes here, front and back. And obviously he's got some Porsche Fuchs wheels that are polished or probably chromed, maybe detailed out. It's got a fairly big motor in there, dual carbs. I don't know the exact specs, but I'll try and figure out some of that stuff or get it from him before I do a walk around video on it. But yeah, cool stereo in the glove box. I noticed when I was backing the car up earlier that a backup light or a backup camera rather popped up on the head unit in the glove box there. So yeah, kind of cool. The guy's done a lot of cool things, got some gauges. Anyway, I'll come back to this car when I do a detailed walk around, so I don't want to go into it right now and spoil a bunch. But that is it for today. So a little bit of progress on a few different cars, and one of them left and came back for, you know, an unrelated item that we'll take care of and try and keep everyone happy. So thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.